Hey, Daniel.
Hey Jim, how you doing?
Good, good. I got to clean my glasses. How you been?
I'm great. How'd things go at immigration this morning?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I went down knowing that I was going to have a Stokes interview. Do you know what a Stokes interview is?
They separate the husband and the married couple.
Correct. And this was a case where I actually did the original green card interview and they got called in for a second interview. And so, I have that old saying that nothing good happens at a second interview, but this one wasn't bad. They did separate the couple right out of the box. And as usual, they took the U.S. citizen first. And I wrote down all the questions, and I thought our viewers might like to hear some of them so that they, if they have a Stokes interview, they can get ready themselves. Let me share out the code. Copy the code, and we go to comments. Here's how you join. Been sort of crazy at the office, hasn't it?
Yes, always is though.
Yeah. All right. So here we go with our Stokes interview questions. Where did you two meet? When did you two meet? These people happened to meet at work, so she asked about their jobs. Where'd you go on your first date? Who paid when you went to your first date? Who proposed marriage? When was marriage proposed? Where was marriage proposed? Was there a ring? What did the ring look like?
Do you think you and Amani could pass that interview?
Well, it's a good question. I thought about that, and I'll tell you the question that I was a little bit wondering about myself, because we've been married 22 years. So let's see. No one's getting in the waiting room, which is unusual. So we'll just have to see how it goes. One question that sort of was a little bit inconsistent was who else was present when you got engaged? One person listed a few people, and one person said we were alone. So I think they were thinking about two different events, but that's okay, because one thing about a Stokes interview is you don't want all the questions and answers to be exactly the same, because then it sounds like you were coached.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that he was proposing ahead of time? Did he tell anyone in your family that he was going to propose to you? There was one funny thing. She said, tell me about your wedding? And she's like, we didn't have a wedding. And I was like, wait a minute, this is the marriage case, but she meant like a big old wedding as opposed to the marriage ceremony. So she recovered on that. They asked a little bit about the co-sponsor. She asked, why was your spouse in the United States? How did he get to come here? Did you go on a honeymoon? They had not, because of COVID. It's so interesting how COVID has really impacted, people's answers, and usually people would have had a trip and that kind of things. Do you live at the same address? How many bedrooms are in that house? What's the address? Who owns it? When did you move in? When did she move in? When did he move in? What's the rent? Do you pay the rent in person or electronically? What bills do you have in both your names? Do you have a Netflix account? Whose name is on the Netflix account? Who pays the Netflix bill? Asked about utilities. Then there was an interesting back and forth about where the U.S. citizen lived before she moved into the marital home. And then the officer asked, did your husband ever go and visit you at your old address? I thought that was a really good line of inquiry. Then there was a lot of questions about the bank account and about separate bank accounts. And that was the one thing that I was like, oh man, I don't know. I think Amani has some secret bank accounts, but I don't know where they are, and I don't pay attention to them.
It sounds like something she would do. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll ask her in front of the kids. They'll get a kick out. They asked about, what accounts they have together. They asked a lot about the stimulus check. Did you get one? Did she get one? Where did it go? What bank account did it go into? Asked about driver's licenses. That's always tricky when you have a driver's license that doesn't have the right address. Asked about the filing of taxes. Did you file jointly? This couple both happened to work at the same hotel, and they both got laid off last March 2020. So
Okay.
there's a lot of time about that. A lot of questions about siblings. What brothers and sisters do each of you have? And then asking the opposite, have you spoken to them in person? Have you spoken to them on the phone? Ask about whether they have children. Let's see. We talked about laid off. I talked about that already. And that was pretty much it. And then she did all those questions to the U.S. citizen. And then what I do is I just sort of put a check mark when the non-citizen gets all those right. And I put an X mark when they got it wrong. The one I told you about was who was there when you got engaged. And then the other one was, she said that he pays the Netflix bill, and he said that the Netflix account is in her name. So that wasn't really inconsistent, but I did flag it a little bit. And then she apparently the U.S. citizen just opened up a business bank account. And I don't know if the husband knew about it, but there's no money in it. So I don't think it was a big deal. So all in all, I told my clients, I gave them a B+, which I thought was pretty good. And I'm a tough grader. And I thought, more importantly, that the officer was not out to get them. I think that's really an important thing to check is the U.S. attorney, or I'm sorry, is the USCIS officer out to get them? And I didn't think she was. I thought she was just doing her due diligence. Haley asked me, why do you think she called her in for a second interview? I think this particular officer doesn't want to do a Stokes interview on the date of the original interview because that slows down her schedule. And so she'd rather schedule those separately. Because, I mean, she could have done a Stokes at the original interview. The original interview was actually pretty quick. And I think this officer's only been around for about 3 years. And I like her. I think she's professional and smart. And I'll always take a smart officer over a dumb one. But I think that this is just how she does it. And so I was cool with it. It was a good day.
Well, good.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our callers. We got some people waiting.
Hello, Bushra. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you guys for doing that weekly. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to keep it quick, keep it brief. I applied for my asylum in 2019. I know it's not a lot in immigration years, but my asylum case was based on the same thing that my cousin's asylum case was based on, if that makes sense.
Sure.
He got his approval within like a couple of months, and I didn't get any decisions yet. I interviewed like a month after I submitted my application. So I was lucky enough to get an interview.
Wow.
But yeah, we have the same basis of the asylum case. I know that you're not doing any lawsuits for now for asylum cases, but I was just wondering because it's really annoying the fact that we have the same basis of the asylum case. So I was just wondering if that is a thing that you might consider.
What country are you from?
Yemen.
And yeah, I'm surprised you haven't gotten it. Which asylum office did your interview?
LA, Los Angeles.
And when did your cousin's case get approved?
I don't know the exact dates, but it was like either 2018 or early 19, because I applied 2019. So
Have you received your work card?
Yes. I've been working for the past 2 years. I'm renewing pretty soon.
So I know it's easy for me to say, but I wouldn't spend too much time or energy worrying about this.
About the
I know it's frustrating, but every case is different. You obviously had a different officer than your cousin did.
yes.
And Yemen is hard. It's hard for them to do background checks. I don't think you need to worry about it too much. I wouldn't be bent out of shape. I mean, the fact of the matter is we have people who applied for asylum in 2015 and haven't had their interview yet. So in the scheme of things, I think you're okay. Now, if 2 years go by from the date of filing, like 2020, like the end of this year, and you want to sue, we'll probably do it. I think I'll probably be doing asylum lawsuits by the end of the year. I think things will start turning around asylum-wise. But I would just say, I'm going to go live my life. I have my work card. My life's not going to change all that much the day I get asylum, other than I know that I'm safe. Obviously, it's a big thing, but your day-to-day life isn't going to change that much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly going pretty good. So I have like nothing to complain about. So yeah, and I'm pretty aware that 2 years is like nothing in immigration here. So
Especially with asylum. Yep,
yeah,
for sure.
so I'm fortunate, and I know that. So
All right. Thanks, Bushra. Nice to meet
thank you
you.
so much.
Thanks for
Good
coming
luck.
on the show.
Yep.
Bye.
See ya. She seemed nice.
Yeah. So you think end of the year, Jim? Maybe you told us July on delayed asylum. I don't know.
Well, I haven't seen much of a change yet. So until the denial rates start going down, I'm probably not going to do it. But there's a new sheriff in town, and with Biden, I wouldn't mind trying one or two with strong cases. I would think we're not sending many people back to Yemen right now, so maybe.
Hello, Ali. Welcome to the show. Can't hear you.
Sorry, I wasn't.
There we go. You're good.
Very good. How's everything? How's Jim? Thank you for having me.
Great.
I have my wife on here too, and she's on a video conference with you guys. So we had a couple of questions. She's back home. I'm a citizen, filed for a spouse case back in priority date October 2019. Got NVC document request in May of 2020, and sent it out kind of late last year, October 2020. Waiting for an interview. What am I looking at? Like, what time frame should I be expecting?
What happened in October 2020? You submitted all the NBC stuff, like the
I got
DS-260?
documentary qualified, and I'm waiting for interview back in Pakistan, Islamabad.
When did you get documentary qualified?
October 2020.
Oh, yeah, I'd sue them. I just had a consult like this from Daniel today. I would sue them. I mean, that's 8 or 9 months since you were documentary qualified. I would go ahead and sue them. Yeah.
What is the process for that? Would you be able to help out with that?
Oh, yeah, we've done that once or twice. Yeah, I mean, that's like my favorite thing, Ali. That's all that I do. So yeah, we would file a lawsuit against them. We would sue the State Department. We would sue the embassy in Islamabad, and we would ask a judge to compel them to issue a decision on your case. That they can approve a case, they can deny a case, but they can't sit on a case forever. So we ask a judge to order them to decide it. We serve copies on the State Department. And then once they get served, they have 60 days to answer. And usually what happens is at the end of those 60 days, they say, okay, Jim, we're going to schedule Ali's wife for an interview in 6 or 8 weeks. And then we'll say, okay, that sounds great. And so we'll delay the lawsuit while they do the interview.
Okay.
And then they'll say, okay, it's approved or it's denied. And then we'll say, okay. And then we'll dismiss the lawsuit once we have a decision.
Okay. So does the COVID affect us at all? Like they can't just blame it on COVID that we are backlogged and we can't get to it?
They do that, and they've done it a lot on fiance cases. Daniel's mad at me because I won't file fiance delay lawsuits at the moment. But on spouse cases, they haven't been doing that.
Okay. Another question that I had, what do you think of expediting? I saw your video that you said that's complete waste of time. Would that help at all? Like if I put in an expedite request, since my dad passed away back in November, so I was thinking I might be able to use that, like I'm emotionally disturbed, I've been seeing counselor and all, and prove that to them that my wife is away. I need some sort of, support for her to get here. Would that help my case at all?
You're certainly free to try. I wouldn't get my hopes up. I don't put much. I mean,
right,
they don't expedite. They don't expedite most things, and even when they do, they don't really. They say, "Yeah, we'll expedite it," and then they just do what they want.
Okay. So I'm eligible to sue, like you said, right? That's I'm within that time frame of suing them, right?
Yep.
Okay, let's go ahead and I'll get in touch with you guys. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Ali.
Thanks, Ali.
Bye-bye.
All right. We'll just keep rolling along. We got a lot of people in the waiting room now.
Hello, Jonelle. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you?
Great.
Hey, we're doing great.
I'm doing good. My question is this: if you do Mandamus, and they issue you an interview, and they haven't given you an answer. What are your next steps?
Did that happen?
If you file a mandamus and they issue you an interview, and you go to the interview lasted like 5 minutes, and it's been 3 weeks now, and they haven't given you an answer. What would be the next step?
Is that what happened? That's what happened in your case?
Yeah.
Is this a mandamus that we filed, our office filed?
No, apparently I had contacted your firm, and they said my case was complicated, and they wouldn't have taken it, which they sent me an email.
You scared us off. Sorry about that. So where was your interview after the lawsuit? Which field office?
Newark, New Jersey.
And it's a marriage-based green card case?
Yeah, what happened? My first marriage, I had gotten married, but because of I stepped out my relationship, and my wife went to the interview, and she withdrew a petition, and they asked her if it was fraud. She said no. She just wanted to withdraw a petition. She withdrew it. I found someone else. I fall in love. We have a kid together, and she petitioned for me, and we went to the interview. The interviewer just asked me my previous wife's name, and that's it. And the yes and no question, and everything went fine. And
when did you file the lawsuit?
we filed it in I think April.
And did you file it in New Jersey or did you file it in DC?
I think the lawyer, they filed it in DC because I was stuck at the processing center for like 2 years at NBC.
When's the deadline for filing their response? Like usually what we do is like if they schedule them for the interview, then we give them an extension on replying to the lawsuit. So do you know when the next thing is supposed to happen in the lawsuit?
No, the lawyer didn't say anything to me about nothing else. They just said I'm supposed to wait 4 to 6 weeks.
From the date of the interview?
Yeah. So
I would just email the lawyer and say, hey, I had my interview 3 or 4 weeks ago. I'm just wondering, when is the government's deadline to reply to the lawsuit? Because that's about the time you'll get the answer on the green card case.
Because I wanted you to do the lawsuit because I watch you on YouTube, and their fee was double the amount of years that I had paid. So that's a problem because it's New York.
Yeah, I'll look up your case and see why we turned it down. I don't know why, but just ask the lawyer. I mean, I could look it up right now if I had the time. I could look up your case and see when the answer's due. But the government's answer's due is due someday. Well, it's probably a month from now. Ask your lawyer. Say, hey, because that's when you're going to find out on the green card is when their answer's due.
Because the interview went well, as I said. We had enough evidence. Our kid. He didn't ask nothing about our previous marriage, which me and my previous wife was in a legal marriage, as I said. But because I had stepped it out, meaning so she canceled the divorce.
They might go talk to her.
I mean, as I said, it wasn't nothing illegal or anything. She even contacted me this morning and asked if I'm okay and everything, which that's my ex-wife.
Okay, good.
So,
well, let us know how it goes.
Understanding.
Yeah, let us know how it goes. All right, thanks, buddy. Good luck, Janelle.
All right, thank you. All right, bye-bye.
See ya. That's too bad. That would have been an interesting case to work on.
They charge a lot for those mandamus in New York, huh, Jim?
Yeah, we should charge some more, man.
I've heard some big numbers from there.
Have you?
Yep. Nordine, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, how can we help you?
Yeah, I just have a question. I'm currently outside the United States. This is my situation. I'm a United States citizen, and I transferred my citizenship to my kids. My wife and I have 4 kids. We've been married since 2006, and we are still married. And I just wanted to start. I just wanted to start bringing the family just for the summer. We have no intention of permanently moving to the United States. So I just applied for a tourist visa for my wife, and I was hoping that she would be approved for a 10-year. That's where we can go every summer. I thought would be 100% approved. Unfortunately, the consular officer denied the visa, and she was just told that I should apply on her behalf from the U.S. I know that I can. I have the right to apply for her for a green card, but since she doesn't plan on moving to the United States permanently, it would be a waste of time. Since, as you know, green card holders are required to stay in the United States for at least 6 months, and she's only going to be here for 3 months every summer. So I just wondered what my options are.
Your options are to apply for a green card for her or not. The U.S. immigration system is not set up for what you want to do. They view the spouses and children of U.S. citizens as coming to get a green. I mean, your children are citizens, but your spouse, they think she's trying to jump the line, and
that's what I thought.
Yeah, even you could say, wallahi, she's never going to come and she's never going to stay. I'm gonna tattoo it on my arm that she will not come and say, but they're not going to believe you.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
I mean, but I just want to clarify a couple of things that you said. Number one is, it's not that she has to stay in the United States for 6 months. It's that she can't be gone for more than 6 months. But she could go back home for 5 months and then go to America for 2 weeks and then be gone for 5 months and come back for 2 weeks. I know that's still a hassle.
Yeah.
But it might get you closer to where you want to be. And number two is you could also get her a green card and then apply for a reentry permit where she can then stay out for a full 2 years without putting her green card at risk.
So, and this permit that you just mentioned, can I apply for the permit every year? Like she's only going to.
They're good for 2 years. You can reapply. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can reapply?
Yeah. Now, after a while, they'll probably give her some trouble.
Yeah.
But in theory, you can. We've had them renewed multiple times, but you can always you can get some trouble from people saying, "Hey, you've got this green card. You're not really living here."
Yeah.
That's sort of more subjective than like a hard and fast rule.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you for
good luck, Nordine. See you, buddy.
Thank you. Hello, Caesar. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I know I've been hassling you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, Mr. Hackett.
Hi, Cesar.
Yeah, Mr. Hackett. Yeah, and I've been practicing for 12 years, and I've been practicing for 12 years, and I'm an immigrant myself. I came from Mexico 36 years ago.
Okay, well, what's up?
Basically, what it is, I'll be short. I sent an I-751. I sent an I-751 for a client and two of her kids, two dependents, and I sent the fees according to the.
So, Cesar, you're a lawyer?
Yes.
And you were emailing me asking about fees? I mean, I don't spend any time thinking about. I don't know about fees. That's
Yes.
not my bag. I don't. I mean, the paralegals figure that stuff out. I can't help you with fees.
Oh, okay. No, and it was just about a rejection notice, so that's okay.
Yeah. No, I saw the long email. I got too much going on to be working on that. Sorry, Cesar. All right. So let's go to Ernesto.
Hey,
Hello,
how you
Ernesto.
doing?
Welcome back to the show.
Hey, my friend Ernesto.
I went twice a week, every Thursday and every Friday. I take my break because I can't. Anyway, I got so excited. I received this email about this guy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure because I check email like every week. The one you guys send it, and his case is pretty similar. It's almost the same as mine. This guy got in trouble. His A130 was like stuck for I don't know how long. That doesn't say in the email, but I'm pretty sure it's a long time. I I am the same time. I have the same problem. You know, I am under asylum, and my A30 is pending. I guess you know I'm still in LA, but I'm planning to move to San Diego. So here's the thing: I already submit an inquiry online for my A130, and they just give me a confirmation number, and they told me to wait 30 days. The 30-day pass, and I haven't heard absolutely anything. So next month is gonna be 11 months since I submit we submit the A130. So the question is when we can sue them. That's when how much I have to wait.
So you filed the I-130 and the 45 together, or just the I-130?
Just A130 because I have to go back for to El Salvador to my consular process.
For the waiver.
Exactly. Well, of course, you know it's a long way still. The all the waiver and the pardon and everything. I know it's gonna take a little while. It's not gonna happen overnight.
So
But
what's
honestly, I don't want to wait that long. I know probably it's gonna take 4 to 5 years to complete my process, but seems it's not going anywhere. And then you know, like I've been seeing online there's so many cases that are being approved, and I'm pretty sure my case is just sitting there. And since I am removable, I don't know how long. I think the best option is Sudan, you know, because I just read the history, you know, the email, and then I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen, you know, in my case. And it's sad to
what
say, but I just want to do it. I don't know how long I have to wait, so I'm ready.
what's the receipt date on the I-130?
August 4, 2020.
So the earliest I'll do it is August 5th, 2021.
Okay, so after
That's
1 year.
early. I mean,
Okay.
and just so you know, that's pushing it. I mean, they're going to say, they might say that we haven't waited long enough, but I think it's worth a shot. Especially if it's a standalone I-130, they're going to be like, yeah, what the heck? Let's just schedule them for an interview. They're not going to want to mess around with it. I can't guarantee it though. So that's the thing. It's right now, as Daniel can tell you, we've been giving them a little bit of a break and maybe like 14 months or 16 months. But if you want to do it, we can do it in August.
August. Okay. Yeah, probably like 13, 14 months. It will be a just you know a reasonable time to do it. And I have a second question because my work permit from my asylum is about to expire, and I'm trying to keep contact then. And you know I really need the permit, but of course you know they don't care.
Right.
Even if I work for I'm a health worker, I'm a CNA, nurse assistant, but they don't give a damn. They don't care. They don't really care. I have proof. I have letters from my employer, like telling, like you know, he's a first responder worker. He's been working with people with COVID for through the whole year, but they don't care. So I know that's, and then they don't even want to give me a second extension because my work permit is about to expire in 3 weeks. And honestly, I already received a letter from my employer saying like they're gonna let me go because I'm not eligible to work because I work for an agency through the hospital.
When did you file the renewal for the 765?
We tried last year in August because I know you can do it more than 6 months, but they keep rejecting. You know what? This is just very curious because they keep rejecting 3 times. And I check online and I really get some upset with my lawyer because you know I said like I'm paying you and then they keep rejecting. They don't know why they keep rejecting and they keep sending. You know that was like a fight back and forth, back and forth. That application, the same package was sent 3 times, the same package, absolutely the same. And the third time I sent it myself because my lawyer just like, you know what? You don't believe us? Do it by yourself. So they give me the package. I went to the post office. I paid the fees, and they finally accept my package for my renewal work permit in January. So it's been like 6 months, but when I tried to contact them, they told me it can take up to 11 months, which means I'm not gonna be eligible to work for the next 3 months, and it's just frustrating me because you know I need the job. I mean, I gotta pay the rent. And then there's nothing we can do about it to push that work permit, right? It's just wait because they don't even want to give me a second extension for 180 days. They just told me you have to wait. I am bothering them like bugging them like almost twice a week, but online, over the phone, but nothing. I don't know.
When does the EAD expire?
That was expired in February 20 this year, so they give me 180 days extension.
So that's August.
August 20. And I went to the DMV to get my driver license, and they give me the driver license for 3-4 months, which is about to expire too. And it's just annoying, and I know it's just everything is slowing down so bad, and my A130 is just sitting there. And then I want to think positive, so like they're gonna move forward, but no, I don't think that they need. I need to do it, like, I need to sue them. That's the only way they're gonna put some attention on my case. Otherwise, my case can take forever. I don't want that, because I'm running out of time. I have my master. I gotta go with the judge for my hearing on December 30. I think the last time we talked, I told you my hearing is gonna was scheduling for April 30, but they rescheduled it. So I went to the local court in San Diego, and they changed it for December 30, which is, I was so excited because I still have another 6 months to get my A130 approved. But since, it's about almost a year, and my A130, it's just sitting there.
I have an idea.
Uh-huh. Please.
Let's zoom this week for the EAD and for the I-130 and just see what happens.
Okay, and then, so should I just call with Daniel over the phone about the cost? And
Yeah,
just
and
the rest details?
Daniel, give him a break. Just take 1,000 off, Daniel,
Okay.
and we'll just do them both, and we'll just do it for fun and see what happens.
Awesome.
You called
That's
on a
great.
good day, Ernesto, I guess.
All
right.
right, it's my lucky day. Well, thank you very much.
You got it,
for
buddy.
everything. I
You got
never miss your show. It's just the best, Sometimes my wife even told me, like, man, you're so obsessive with all this. It's like, I just like, I learn, and you guys are awesome, guys. Well, thank you very much for everything you do.
All right. Thanks, Ernesto. We'll see you, buddy.
Thanks,
Ernesto.
Bye. What a nice guy, huh?
Yes, he's come on several times.
Well, I've wanted to sue on EAD, and we might as well try it little by little and just see what happens. I mean, that's BS. He's going to lose his freaking job, and he's facing deportation because they just can't do their goddamn job. I'll have to tweak that lawsuit a little bit, but I think that with the threat of the December court date and the imminent loss of a job of a CNA, I mean, we can probably get someone to write a news story about that BS. Yeah. All right, cool. So connect with Ernesto, Daniel. Keep me posted.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's see what Sarah has to say. She's been waiting patiently.
Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the show.
That's the first time on the show, and I'm joining. Thank you so much. So I have a question because I applied to the green card. I'm in the US, I-485. My father sponsored me when he was a permanent resident in September in 2015. And then I filed for adjustment of status in July 2020. And then in November, a few months later, my dad became a citizen. So it means that I moved category from, let's say, F2B to F1. And my case advanced quite well. I had my interview in May of this year, and in May the officer told me that two things. First of all, that I moved to category, and that basically I just need to wait because my category won't be current until November. Now it's November 2014 for F1 for green card. And second, when I was a child, my parent had won a diversity visa lottery, and we came to the US for 3 months, and then they changed their mind. And he had to find this original file when I was a child.
Yeah.
So it would take time for them to find that. My question, so it was a bit worrisome because I thought everything was advancing quite well. My question is about, I'm about to switch job and use my EAD. Is there a risk for them denying the renewal of my EAD because I switch categories, even if it's not my, it's not my fault? And the second thing I wanted to, and this is very important because I cannot lose that job. And the second thing is, I saw that there was this possibility of opt-out, and my lawyer is telling from one F1 category to go to F2B, where timeline is much better for me. But the lawyer said at this point it's good. She advised not to disturb USCIS by filing an opt-out or anything like that, because I already had my interview, and she basically failed to tell me that I could opt out from the F1 category once my dad became a citizen. Um, so basically, the advice was like, don't do anything and just wait. And I was wondering whether she's right or.
So if you had remained as the adult child of an LPR, is that number current?
They're at September 2015, and my petition date is November 2015, so they're almost there.
So here's what I would do. I would send them a letter and tell them I want to opt out of the treatment to F1 of the daughter of a U.S. citizen and say I want to stay. I would have done that at your interview.
Yeah, I didn't know about this option, and he said, no, you're an F1, and I asked, can I stay F2B? He said no, and the lawyer was on the phone and she didn't say anything.
Yeah, the one I know that used to be an option. I haven't checked lately because I haven't had to do that in a while. But I believe it's still possible, and if it's still possible, I would do it because I just had an interview like this the other day, last Tuesday in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. So I have the adult child of a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
And her priority date was current on the day of the interview. And the officer, when I was there, the officer logged on to the State Department website to see if there was a visa available on the day of the interview, and then he reserved it for my client.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But there's a little bit of a problem there too. So I'm surprised that your lawyer didn't tell you to do that. If it's still, like I said, I don't have my little immigration law book here, but I think that's still the rule that you can do that. And if so, I don't see why you wouldn't if there's a risk of you waiting another year or whatever.
Yeah, basically she said that if we send it at this stage, it will go back to the National Benefit Center. I'm based in DC. Mm-hmm. And my case is basically waiting in Alexandria in the DC office.
Right.
And she said it may create a problem with my renewal. They may start to panic or make an error or something like that.
Yeah, I would wait until I have my EAD renewed, and then I would ask. And if you want us to look all this stuff over, we could look it over.
Can I send you an email to?
Yeah. Okay. Send Daniel an email, okay. And I can follow up on that question. The other thing I wanted to say. Oh, I had something else I wanted to mention, and then I lost it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you.
I'll probably think of it, but.
Well, she asked about the EAD renewal switching categories. Oh, so you're saying just wait for that?
Yeah, I would wait to get the EAD.
That's what the lawyer says. She said, wait till get the EAD. But the problem is the EAD, I will file in September, but it could take a couple of months for them to respond. So she said, once I file, maybe I could do an opt-out after the filing for renewal, kind of.
Yeah, I remember the other thing I was going to say. Tell me about the old diversity visa case. Do you have any of that paperwork? Or
I have a copy of the green card that was given to me, and actually my alien number is the same. They took the old alien number, but he said he needs to find the physical file, and it's from 97. And I don't know where maybe he will find it, maybe he won't. Did they digitalize it or not? I have no idea. But he put it like as a kind of hurdle for my case to be achieved. But like my parents became citizen recently, because they were sponsored by my sister, who also became citizen on a different path, basically. So I don't know why it would be an issue in my case, because it was not in their case, where they are the one who were adult and abandoned their green card, and I was like 11 or something. So I had no
involvement.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I would have FOIA'd your file before I filed. I would have done a Freedom of Information Act for your old diversity visa case before you filed. Yeah. But now we don't want to do it because that's just going to slow things down. If we do a FOIA, then they're going to pull your whole case out of Arlington so that they can make copies of everything and send them to us. So if I'm you, what I'm thinking is get the EAD renewal on file, get it approved, and then if you're still waiting,
mm-hmm.
then it has to be recategorized as the child of a
F2B, of a permanent resident, because I looked for, it's always been like at least a year difference for the past like 3 years between those two categories. So in any case, the F2B of the child of permanent resident has a better waiting time.
Yep. Yeah, we've done that before. I just haven't done that in a couple of years, so I'm not entirely sure, but I'm sure it's still the deal.
Okay, great. So if you don't mind, I will send an email to Daniel to
sure.
this address. This is on Facebook.
Here, I'll put it right. I'll put it in the comments.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, Sarah. Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck to
Sarah.
you guys.
Yep,
Bye.
yeah. Bye. Yeah, that's a tricky situation. All right, let's see. We got a lot of people in the waiting room now, man. Woo.
You haven't pulled up the visa bulletin in a while.
Yeah, I haven't. I could, but I think people get sort of bored with it.
Yeah. Hi, Tracy. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm confused as to what date the visa center is working on right now. I mean, I know last I saw it was like May 27th, but okay, so I'm confused as to the creation date with the visa center versus when I submitted my spousal I-130. Like, so can you give me a clue when they might send me my welcome letter?
Okay, so you're a U.S. citizen, or you're the beneficiary?
Yes. I'm my husband is the beneficiary, and he's not in the U.S. Of course.
Where is he?
He's in Guinea, Conakry.
And
West
when did you first file the I-130?
Not till May 27th, actually, of this year.
You filed the I-130 with USCIS in May of 2021?
Yes.
So your case is like a month old.
Yeah, not very old. But
And it's still,
I'm confused as to I see that.
well, first of all, I don't know what you're talking about because I don't pay any attention to those processing times at the NBC, but you're a long way from worrying about that. You've got to get your case approved at USCIS. That's going to take 7 or 8 months. So in 7 or 8 months, your case will go, once it's approved, from USCIS to the National Visa Center. I can estimate you'll probably be at the National Visa Center for about 4 months before it's.
So it'll probably take like 7 months before the NVC contacts me after. Okay. All right. Because I was like reading the date, they're like working on May 27th, but I didn't know if that meant the date when you submit the 130 or the date after they transfer it.
I don't know what dates you're looking at, but I can just tell you your time frame is probably your spouse will probably have their visa interview in June of 2022, June or July, maybe May. So yeah, you've got it. You're at the very beginning of the journey, Tracy.
Yeah, I realize that, but I was trying to get at least a clue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So think 8 months at USCIS, 5 months at National Visa Center, and then 2 or 3 months for the embassy.
8, 5, 2, 3. Okay.
852. That sounds good. All right. Bye, Tracy.
You've been very
Bye,
helpful.
Tracy.
Thank you.
Oh, you got it.
Hello, Kareem. Welcome to the show.
Oh, hi, Daniel. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Doing all right. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Kareem. How you doing, man?
Doing all right. So I filed 22 months ago for N400, and I had 2 interviews. The last one was January 26.
This is some BS. Which field office?
San Francisco.
And how'd you get your green card?
Married. I was married to a citizen. We have been married for 8 years now.
Still married? Everything's cool?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from originally from Egypt.
Where in Egypt?
Cairo.
Okay, I have to ask. My wife's from Mansoura, so I always have to ask where people are.
I'm originally from Mansoura, actually.
Isn't it true? And Daniel will think I'm kidding, but isn't it true that in Egypt they say that's where the beautiful women come from, is Mansoura?
Yeah, and beautiful guys as well.
Of course, clearly. Wait, so you applied? Did you say 22 months ago for citizenship, and you've had 2 interviews?
Yes. Yeah.
This is some carp.
Yeah, I can tell on the first interview, the officer, she was not happy at all to see me for some reason.
Mm.
But the second one was okay. It was long and detailed, so I had a lot of proof and everything, and it went okay.
Did you apply on the 3-year rule or the 5-year rule?
3-year rule.
So you had to bring marital evidence, and they went over the marital evidence with you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was like 3-hour interview.
And what did you say? Chicago? Where did he say? I don't remember.
San
Francisco. Yeah.
San Francisco. Yeah. Yeah.
When was the second interview?
It was January 26, 2021.
So the law says that if you've had your first interview and 120 days have gone by, which is 4 months, that you can walk into a federal court and ask a judge to either naturalize you or to order USCIS to do it in a certain amount of time, like 60 or 90 days. So you're well past that.
Yeah, my first interview was in October, and the officer, she said, I'm going to send you a request for evidence, but instead I got scheduled for a second interview.
Did they tell you to bring anything to the interview?
No.
Did they talk to your spouse at either interview?
No.
Well, and I know what I want to ask you. Before you met your wife and got your green card, what was your immigration status?
Before I got married, we did the whole thing abroad, not in the US.
So you came and your green card followed you.
Yeah, I got the green card on the airport.
Did you have an interview on the 751, or did you not do a 751?
Yeah, I did.
You did have an interview on it?
Yes.
In San Francisco?
No, the green card one was in Malaysia.
No, not that one. So let me ask you this. When you arrived in America, was that more than 2 years after your wedding date?
Yes.
So when you arrived, you got a 10-year green card. You didn't get a 2-year.
Yes. Yeah.
So really, I know this sounds dumb, but really the only time USCIS has ever interviewed you, USCIS as opposed to the State Department, is for your naturalization.
I'm sorry, the question again?
The only time they've ever interviewed you was for your naturalization. They never interviewed you on the I-130 or for the green card or anything.
No.
Yeah, I think you need to sue them. I think they're racially profiling you because you're from Egypt and your name is Kareem Mohammed, and that they should have decided this case a long time ago. And the only way you're going to get them to issue a decision is to sue them.
Yeah, that's my guess too. So the second officer, she told I was here in the US 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And she said that she's gonna, request my old file and review it. I have no issues whatsoever.
What was your status when you were here 20 years ago?
I had a green card.
Oh, you had a green card before?
Yeah. And I left the US and I stayed in Egypt for a long time, so I lost it.
Was that based on marriage?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I think right now somebody has old Kareem's file and it's up there on the shelf and nobody's looking at it. And you're well past the time. You could have sued them a long time ago. So I think that you should sue them. And I also think that unless you sue them, you're going to keep waiting for a decision.
Okay. So I was wondering about a price for suing. This
is where I come in, Jim.
Yeah, you can tell them, Daniel. Go ahead.
It's $4,500, Kareem, but we have payment plans, so we can get started for $3,000.
Okay. So, but my case, I guess my cases, you might have an easy one and a difficult one and stuff like that. So I was thinking, like this one might be easier. So
no, it's not, because, and I'll tell you why it's not. In fact, it's going to cost me a little bit more to do your case. Every kind of lawsuit I can do in Washington, D.C., and that's really easy. I can do it through a system. But for yours, because you've had your interview, I have to sue them in federal court in California. So I have to find another lawyer to sponsor me. It takes me a little bit longer. So actually, it's actually harder to do your case. And plus, you had 2 green cards. So there's something weird going on with your green card case. So we don't really haggle on our fees, but that's the deal. It's $4,100, and then the filing fee is $402. So like Daniel said, it's $4,502. You can pay $3,002 to get started, and then $500 a month for 3 months.
Okay, that's good to know. So I will consider that. I will think about it.
Sounds good. Thanks, Kareem.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Yeah,
Bye, buddy.
bye
See ya.
You're all right.
Yeah, Amani loves to haggle, but she doesn't like people to haggle with us. So, and she certainly doesn't like me to try to haggle.
Hello, sir. Welcome to the show.
All right. Good afternoon, Jay. Yes, I
Hi
have a
there.
question.
Yes, how can we help you?
Yes, I actually filed for an I-485 in 2018, based on an approved Vawa same year. So in October of 2018, I subsequently filed for an adjustment of status and went for fingerprinting in December of the same year. But since 2018 to now, I've not had anything from them.
Oh, what country are you from? Nigeria?
Yes, sir.
And what was your when did you come to America?
2014, September to be precise. September 14,
What kind of a visa?
2014.
What kind of a visa did you have? A visit visa?
Yes, a B1, B2, yes, sir.
And when you lived in Nigeria, were you married or not?
Yes, I was, but we were going through some issues at that time.
But how did you divorce in Nigeria? That's what I want to know.
Oh, my ex was the one that did it. I actually got married through customary rights in court, and she filed for the divorce and sent the papers to my mom when she left my house.
I'm worried that your divorce is fake from Nigeria. That's what I'm worried about. There are a lot of fake Nigerian divorces. Most people that contact us that got a visit visa to the United States have a divorce decree that isn't real, and that just makes everything else more complicated. So I would say that if you want our help, you should email Daniel, and Daniel can put his contact information in the chat. I think. Can you do that, Daniel? I can do that. And then we can go from there. There's some questions I want to ask you, but not on camera, okay?
Yes, but I don't know if I should say it. I actually had a divorce here in 2000. Yes, by my former attorney. Yes.
So you divorced the person from Nigeria in the United States?
Yes, when I got the letter from the mom, I went to my attorney, and he told me that I need to do it here since I don't know where she was.
Good.
She just
That's
came
good.
up with an
Yeah, that's good. That's helpful. Then that's going to make life a lot cleaner and a lot easier. So go ahead and send Daniel an email, and then we'll follow up with you, okay?
Okay. All right. So.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Hello, Mimo. Welcome to the show.
Hi there, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about it. I have a couple of questions. So recently I got my I-45 interview. It was in March. And until now, there's no answer. The only concern that I have is that when I went for my interview, I had a citation. It's for metro fare, not avoiding payment, I guess is what they call it. It
like
was
on the metro, on the train?
Yes. For some reason, my smart trip didn't register. So I got stopped and I got issued a citation. So that citation is under my name as a criminal record. So how bad can that affect my green card?
It can't. That's not going to have any impact on your case.
Oh, even though it's with as shown as criminal charge, a criminal offense. So
No.
they're basically looking for something major that can disqualify you.
I wouldn't worry about that.
The second question is, if I don't hear anything from them, they gave me at the interview, the officer gave me a letter, a white piece of paper that says we need up to 120 days to make a decision. If they don't make a decision, what could be my next step? I know that you mentioned earlier that I can sue them after those 120 days.
Well,
But
that's for citizenship. That's not for
Oh.
green cards.
Okay.
Just for
So
citizenship.
what could be my next step after those 120 days, which will be at the end of this month, next month?
I would say give them 6 months, and then if you haven't had anything after 6 months, then I would email Daniel or call the office, and we can talk about it.
Oh, okay. So I mean, even though I have a lawyer, I can still take over my case as long as
Well, yeah,
how is it-
we could sue them for you. We would probably not take over the case from the old lawyer, but we could do the lawsuit. But I think
yeah, that's what I mean.
I think you'll probably get a decision soon. I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay, so that's not something I have to worry. Even though at the interview, it's a Vawa based approved Vawa case that got transferred for I-45. When the immigration officer asked about my spouse, my attorney intervened, and that didn't get very well with the immigration officer. He kind of got, you can hear it in his voice, mad about that, because she just said that you cannot ask about the abuse. I mean, I was fine answering the questions. I didn't have any concerns, but I guess my attorney intervened, and that didn't go well with the immigration officer. Can he deny the case based on prejudice, based on his emotions? Or
Well, they have to have a reason, but I mean, I wouldn't have interrupted the officer. I think that's fair game. I mean, even if the 360's been approved, I would give the officer. I mean, the officer has something that I want.
Mhm.
So even if the rules technically say that he can't ask about the abuse, I would have had you ready to talk about the abuse.
Oh, I was ready.
And I would have let you talk about it.
Well, in my head, I was like, please stop. You know how you want to say something,
Yeah.
but you're kind of paralyzed in the moment. So
No, I get it. I mean, if nothing, I wouldn't think they deny you for that, but if they really want to hear from you, they might call you in for another interview.
Gotcha. But there's, according to your expertise, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing major because this is the only thing I have. That citation that I had to.
Was the citation from the state that you live in, or was it from like a municipality, like a
No,
city?
it was in the city, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, because I live in Maryland, so I had to go and pay the fine. She said there's not going to be any jail, probation, anything. Pay the fine, just don't worry about it.
They're not going to deny you on that. Nope. No, I think it's probably more likely the other issue you raised, which is, it's always harder for a man to get a green card based on VAWA, and then if his lawyer says don't answer that, then they're going to be like, this is
suspicious.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, she was supposed to not say anything, just be patient.
I'm not going to blame her, but I wouldn't have said, no way, we're not answering any questions about that. I would have waited until there was a question that you didn't want to answer or I didn't want you to answer. I wouldn't have done it whole cloth.
Well, she waited until he started to ask when was the last time you met your spouse and got into like further details. So she let him ask a couple of questions, but when he got a little bit more personal, she just said,
"Yeah, that was dumb."
Yeah, I figured it out. Yeah. Well, thank you though. Thank you for your help. So,
all right, Mimo, good luck, buddy.
Thank you. Enjoy your lunch.
Yeah,
you as well. I'm sorry.
There, looks like he's got some chicken and some rice.
It's actually fish with rice.
Salmon, yeah, nice. All right, Mimo, have a good day.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy your coffee.
Bye.
Give some to the dog too, okay?
Oh no.
All right, Daniel. Well, that'll do it for today. We had a lot of people watching. I think people still have a lot of questions. We'll be back on Thursday, and then next Tuesday, I'll be driving all over Los Angeles. I have an asylum interview at 8 in the immigration office in Tustin, and then I have to drive like 60 miles for a 1 o'clock green card interview in Chatsworth. So I'm going to be driving all over.
Wow.
Yeah, and the word on the street is that traffic has returned to LA, so I'm not looking forward to it. But I am going to get to see a friend out there for dinner, so that'll be fun.
Well, very nice.
All right, Daniel. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye, buddy.
Bye, Jim.